Welcome to Let's Talk, and today's video is on the subject of trance. My guides have asked me to do this video to bring you some knowledge on trance from the point of view of the ascension beings that channel through trance mediums. Now, what we're going to be happening today is I'm going to go into trance and bring my guide John through. Now, it's the first time I've done this in a public space, as in public here, or I've done it in workshops, I've done it in my own space, I've done it in my own groups, but not out in the public domain. I probably should explain briefly who I am in case you're watching this for the first time and haven't watched any of our other YouTube. My name is Sharon Milne Barber, and I am a light channeler, spiritual medium, and I do trance. I write books channeling from the beautiful light beings that help support Earth. And what else do I do? Well, I do readings, do quite a lot of things, and it's all so basically I'm an all-rounder advocate of spirit. It's quite a good way of putting what I do. I run Bengal Rose Healing, www.bengalrose.co.uk, and I'm the co-founder of One Spiritual Movement, so that's www.onespiritualmovement.com. So you can connect up with those. We have Facebook pages, we have Instagram, we have Twitter, so there's a lot of connecting you can do, and it will bring you to other people of like-minded way of thinking. Now, this is a big thing for me to do today, and what's happened in the last 24 hours is, actually we're going back a week. John just said, what's today, Thursday? We do go back just over a week, so he's communicating in my head. And I've had a massive shift in the way I work in the last year, and it hasn't touched my trance work yet. And then in the last week I was led to watch a video which was of another trance medium talking about his trance work, and all I got was this message: you must speak to him, you must speak to him. And my work has shifted into another so I've evolved in my way of thinking and my understanding of our connection with what we would call spirit, but actually the light beings and the ascension physical beings in the universe, and incarnation, what happens after life, and etc. So the trance area hadn't been changed, and this was the last phase for me apparently, where I was put in touch with this gentleman who I spoke to last night for the first time, and it basically, everything fell in place to everything else that had come to me in the last year, and my understandings that have changed. And my next step is to bring my trance out with John. So what will happen is that I will go down into the trance energy, or into the trance energy should I say, and allow John to come forward into my consciousness. He'll blend with me, and then when ready he will start to speak. Now, we will actually edit a bit of that out, because you'll be sitting there looking at me, it could be for 5-10 minutes while he comes through. Sometimes he comes in quickly, as I'm a little bit nervous today, I imagine it could take a little bit longer, but when he arrives, so we'll edit it so you're not sitting watching. I know you could fast forward it, and then when at the end, when he steps back, he will conclude it and step back. I will then need a few minutes to come around and drink some water, so that might be edited out as well. But it's just so you're understanding why there might be splits. So we can put up like this is a pause while Sharon came round or something, just so you can understand what's happening. Then I'll talk at the end. I won't be really aware of what he's saying to you, so I will have some awareness, but I will come back, and it'll be new to me to watch the video as well, because it'd be interesting to see what he has to say about trance. Because he said to me when I was talking last night to this gentleman, one of the things I realised that all my trance knowledge has come from other humans that have taught it in workshops I've been to. Now, my own trance journey started over 6 years ago. It was 6 years this March, where I went to a workshop I'd already been doing mediumship and stuff like that, healing, and I was drawn to this workshop, and I just knew I had to go. And my first experience in the workshop, yes, where they explained briefly what trance was. Then the teacher did this meditation, and in this meditation I had the most amazing visual experience I've ever had. My gatekeeper guide stepped forward. I felt like his arm was over mine. I saw a pen. He described his earth life, and he said he was my gatekeeper, and he was there to guide me to write my first book. And I remember coming out of this meditation, looking at all these people around the room. I think I knew 2 of them in there, thinking I can't tell them what I've just experienced. It's a bit out of there. So I didn't actually say, but it stuck with me. And then I had other messages come to me through other mediums or friends. So I've got this message for you. I think after about 4 or 5 messages, I actually started to listen. And it started the process of channeling with my guides. So John will probably explain this all a bit better, but channeling is their thoughts telepathically linking to yours to channel words of communication to be written down for human knowledge. And I won't go through the whole journey, but the starting point of this was I would be recording on a phone. I used to do that when I went out walking with my dog Boyd, who's sadly passed now to spirit, and I used to come back and write it all up, and I'd do handwritten notes, find knowledge I needed to put in the book, and it took a while. And then one day they said this book is now correct, get it edited. And then as the years have gone on, and I'm now doing my 10th book with them, it is mind to keyboard. I just sit at the keyboard with the intention to do their channeling, and it literally just comes. And then we have a process of editing and editing and editing and editing, and it's amazing. What they do with my books is they build the chapters in a simple framework, and then within each chapter they build the framework and the words, and it goes through the book like that. And yeah, it just keeps going until one day I get this voice saying, no, this is it now, go send it off to your editor. So that's what Trance did for me in the beginning. It brought in this channel, building this channel up of communication. Now I've sat in trance prior to the lockdown. I was working with a trance partner to bring in evidential trance, but we were doing it what we call third party. So the guide would come in and bring forward the messages from the loved ones to whoever was in the room, and I did it a couple private times, but then the lockdown came. Now since then we have sat, and I've sat on my own, but in the last few weeks there's been such a shift for trance and the way they're looking at it from the light beings point of view and how they use it and how it would benefit humans, that it's a way, how can I, John's going to explain this a lot better for me. I think I'm going to stop now and just let him explain what's going on when he comes in. Okay, so I actually take my glasses off for trance because for some reason when I'm going into the energy, when I come back out, I feel like they're stuck into my face. So I find it better not to have my glasses on. I'm going to have a drink of water because I do get, I'll be very thirsty when I come out as well. Oh, that's better. Okay, so I'm now going to do what I call go into the energy. I did say obviously we will edit some of this out, but basically what happens is I see it as relaxing into myself, and I have to get into a state of being where my mind isn't busy and I can allow John's energy to connect to mine, and it can. I've never seen myself on film with this with John, so oh no, sorry, once he said, and it was a couple of years ago when we started working together in a trance partnership with my friend. That was a long time ago. Okay, so I have seen him once. I don't remember that, but okay. So I'm going to go down into the trance energy and enjoy. Please enjoy. Hello and welcome, my friends.
This is so exciting for us today. We are very excited to be here with you, and I will do my best to explain from the light ascension being's point of view what trance means to us and for you, for humanity. Now, this is very brave of this beautiful person here that we are working with to do this, because from the human fear, doubt and trust factor, it is easy to do this work behind closed doors and stay safe and protected from the ridicule of those doubters amongst humanity, or those with I do not like to say some of these words, but the jealous hate streak. Now, to step out of your comfort zone is, may I say, an ascension. It is a step forward on your evolution in your spiritual work. So, the excitement before we came in was so strong, and she could feel this, and I said to her, it's going to work to your benefit today, it's going to really work. Now I move around a lot with the physical form, because we have developed such a strong bond now for the trance that it's part of the way her body, I am consciously connecting with her body. And I move my hands, and I have a habit of kicking my feet out, which today the feet of the human body that I must not do, because I will knock the camera. So if it shakes a bit, it's because I'm getting a little bit active. So, what is trance? How do I explain this to you? Where do I start? Oh my, I could be here for hours, but I need to define it into a source of language that you will understand. First of all, I am Sharon's guide, and I am known to her as John. I should just explain this for you, it will help you with the understanding of how we show ourselves. So the guide, my name, John, we chose when we first came to Sharon to choose my energy to come to her as my earth incarnation, because I have had an incarnation on earth, and my last one was John. I was keeping it very simple. I was a professor of science and maths in a city called Philadelphia, in what you'd understand as your United States of America. So I died at 57 of a heart attack. I was unmarried, and I was devoted to my work, and that keeps it as simple as that for you. The reason I came through to Sharon in that understanding as a human form, that she would not have fear with me, and that over the 3 years I have been here, that we would build a relationship leading to this type of event. I have revealed to her my true self, which is a light conscious, multi-transitional form. I am what you would understand as a light being. Now, light beings can incarnate, and we also have physical high ascension beings that can incarnate as well. So I shall make that clear. And I'm just being reminded that the soul connection video, the awakening video and the new earth video covers a lot of these type of knowledge for you. So if you have not yet watched what we've channeled, then please do, because I cannot fill this video with all of this knowledge. You're going to have to take what we say today, and you will have to go and explore more yourself, and this is all part of the fun of learning in the human mind. So trance has been part of humanity for a very long time, and we're going back many thousands of years. If you go back into the history of humanity, people chanting, people dancing around fires, people sitting in a meditative state, a lot of this is the trance-based energy of connecting with the higher source, the higher beings. And we have brought this back to humanity more in the last, how many years shall I say? Yes, okay, between 70 and 80 years of your human time period. And really it's now starting to come to the forefront. Now, the way trance has been taught to humanity has a little bit of a fear base to it, because there's that fear that when you go into a state of being and you're letting another consciousness come into your mind to talk through you, that there's a fear factor with that, and there has been, and with the human fear factor, we've had to teach it so that you are protected and that you understand that you are safe. Because if you feel fear and doubt, you will not be able to connect in the trance energy to the advancement that you would need or you seek. So trust is one of the biggest words that is used in any form of connection through mediumship, healing, and the trance or the physical trance mediumship energy. I'm not going to talk about the physical trance mediumship energy today. I'm going to concentrate on what I define as the trance energy path of communication and speaking, and possibly bringing evidence of your loved ones, of the human essence that's gone back to their home source of creation with their higher self. So that is what we will be doing today. So the trance energy is asking the human body to sit in calmness. Think of it as almost like a meditative state. You're clearing your conscious mind of your past, what you're going to be doing later in the day, and it's almost like there's a little person in your head, a conscious being, that's going to step aside. And this is what's happened today with Sharon. She's not far away, she's literally just here, and I have been allowed, and I notice the word allowed, to come in and speak to you, because she is in control of our, how shall I put that? We are keen to work with you, but it is always remember that you are in control of your spiritual connection. Now, at this time of her development, I'm coming through with all of my thoughts. None of hers, is all me. In the early stages of trance, when you perhaps go to your first trance workshop, you'll be nervous, you'll be doubtful, you'll be excited, and all of these energies going on within you. And you'll sit into this energy, and you'll start, and you might be asked to speak about a word, say the word love. And you're asked to allow thoughts to come into your head and speak those words. Now, if an exercise is done where you are asked to speak about the word love as yourself, you might say, well, I love my children, I want to be loved, and you'll say things like that. And then when the telepathic connection comes in, that is us, we would talk about it in a way that you would not in your human existence. And when that builds and gets stronger, so you might only talk one word, you might talk a sentence, you might talk a paragraph, you might recite a poem, and eventually as this trance trust builds, because it is trust, and you build the energy of connection, and it gets stronger and you hold it for longer, we can then come through and speak for longer periods of time. Now, mentally, the human mind has to be in a good place. We do not work with people who have recent mental illness. We cannot work through people going through grief, sickness, because the connection is weak. And when you work in the trance energy, you're using every cell of your body and energy up like you would if you were running, for example. So some people, when they sit in trance, can feel very hungry afterwards because they've used up a source of their body fuel. So there's lots going on with the trance energy, you're also, we're pulling into your energy, and you've got more energy around you. So when you sit in this, your first experiences of this trance state could be, wow, you know, I can feel love, I feel tingling, I can feel hot, I can feel cold. I've got this voice in my head, do I speak these words? Oh, and people, and afterwards you most likely in the early stages will remember what you said, but as you get more and more into this growth of this energy and builds, you will go deeper into this state of being that will allow us to come in stronger. Now we have to laugh, because some people say to be in the true trance state, you have to be unaware of everything and your guide will come and speak. Now, I can tell you now, Sharon is in her mind, because she's still in there, you know, hearing my voice. But when I have finished and I come back into my space and she's come back into her space, she will have probably glints of what I've said, but will not remember what I've said, if you can understand that. Before she goes into the energy, she has awareness of the world around her, and actually in her case it amplifies. Then she goes into a space she calls her secret garden, and that is very recent. We've given her that because it was an oak tree. We now changed it into something else for her. And when she's in that space, she stepped out of her today's thought process, tomorrow's and yesterday's, and it allows me to start moving in and into the thought process. Now, I want to make it clear, we do not possess your body. I have to laugh when I hear that, because we do not possess your body. Just trust that. Now, what you might experience, especially when you get further on in the trance experience with your work, is that remember, you are all energy and cells and vibration. And as our vibration, should I say, so as my vibration came into Sharon today, she might feel herself physically change a bit. We can put onto you the feeling of the human essence of who I was in my life, I explained to you. But now when she sits with me, she doesn't feel any of that, because I'm not that human essence. I am a light energy conscious being that's chosen to come and work with humanity. So that is how I'd like to explain that to you. So I shall now see where I'm going now with this trance. Where shall I go now with it? How do I explain it further? I'm thinking to myself. So I shall now, okay, so we've now started to develop. You're now getting these sensations. You might feel you're bigger, smaller, taller, fatter, whatever. You might feel old, you might feel young. And that is us teaching you the essence of what that energy could have been on an earth existence. Now, Sharon gets a mixture of that. She's got beings working with her that have had no incarnated life, and they come in just on the love, the beautiful love energy, they come in. And she's learnt not to expect any more than that, because you don't need to have that clarification of who they were. What you need is to trust that they are there working with you in the love and the light. Now, there's phrases used in trance like going down into the trance energy, and then when you do your mediumship and your clairvoyance, you see yourself going up into the trance energy. It is all, you're all connecting with the same energy source. The trance guides are no different to the guides that are bringing in the essence of the human to bring evidence to the audience. So you need to start changing your way of thinking about this. We create a space of unison. So the guides that are working with Sharon today, and there's a few of them here, I can tell you, and I have the privilege of stepping forward to talk to you, that we are in a unison space, because we all come from different realities of creation in the universe. You've got to understand this. And Sharon's soul, her ethereal self, her conscious mind is also part of this unison space. You are working as one when you go into the trance energy. So that is how you need to see it. You're working as a team. We will look after you and you will look after us. That is why we say you have control. If you're not happy in your development, or you feel uncomfortable at times, you ask us to step back. In those early days, you have that now. Sharon is very comfortable and is allowing me to come forward today. I don't know how long I will sustain the energy with her, so we'll see. So I better speed up a bit, hadn't I? So she has gone through various elements of trance development. Some trance people, their development is in what you call a cabinet. Now the cabinet is a space where we can build up this unison energy, where we can join and blend with your mind. And it does amplify it. So cabinet work is very important if you're developing trance medium, I suppose you call yourselves. A trance worker, I like to call you. You're a trance worker. So that is one element to consider, sitting in a circle with a supportive teacher that does not go into trance but teaches you well and keeps you all in the trance energy when needed and guides you, is very key for development. You can, I would say, you can sit on your own and develop. This goes against a lot of teachings, and I can now hear many trance teachers who might watch this go, oh, but I say to you, you need to evolve. You need to trust your team. Now, it's only been in the last year that Sharon has sat on her own with me. Before we sit, we set the time and we bring her back on that time. So that's how we've built our trust, and she trusts us. She has mentored human recipients through me coming in and speaking through her mind and voice. So that is very important. You must remember that. We can help with mentoring. The reason we like to come through in trance and give this type of mentoring and knowledge is if I'm trying to explain it to Sharon, and then she doesn't always, her human mind comes into it so much that it gets slightly deciphered. So like giving messages can appear to be fragmented, because when you're not connected like this, the human mind cannot clearly see or hear what is being channeled. Don't forget, my friends, this is telepathic communication. So when she steps aside like she's done today and allowed this trust with this, which I think I've said already I'm very excited about, she has fully put her trust in me. And there's a lot of emotion around. I can feel the emotion in her body with the trust of this. So this beautiful trance energy, why do we want it for humanity? Why do we bring it to you is the next question I'd like to answer. Yes, we'd like to bring knowledge. Yes, we'd like to bring wisdom. But also we'd like to bring evidential evidence of our existence. So how do we do that? Well, the human audience is still expecting to hear from granny, granddad, the son that passed, the daughter that passed, the baby that passed. That is your 3D reality. Your trust that there's life after death needs the essence of these humans that have passed to come forward in evidence that they are there somewhere looking down and still love you, and you can still love them. Now we understand that and we embrace it for you. So we are guiding more trance workers to bring in evidence. Now there's two ways. The first way is a guide like me would come through, the medium, and I would ask for the essence of the human needed to come in, and I would then give that information and what message they have over. Now Sharon could do that as a clairvoyant medium. I've seen her and worked with her, doing it with her. But this is a different way of connecting. But we want to dismiss that way, because we want you trance workers to go straight to source and the essence of the energy of that loved one that lived on earth to come to you and speak through you as I do today. Now, wouldn't that be amazing? Now, building on that now for you, in trance, as the energy builds and you get more experience sitting in the energy, and we can work with your vibration. If you've ever seen cabinet work, we can actually, with the energy, manipulate your face. Now, we don't change the structure of the face in the living tissue. We put an energy field over, and you can see the face of the loved one that passed, or of the ascension being that's trying to channel. Now, more and more we've been bringing forward the ascension beings. Some of them are physical form, some of them are light form. Some of them in light form can cast themselves into a physical form for understanding the human mind and presenting themselves to you, so that can be seen overshadowed. We can also build what we call a voice box down here. So down here, and we can change the voice. Now, sometimes the voice changes because it's to do with the energy of the vibration of who's come through. So my voice alteration that's creeped up with working with Sharon, is the best way to say, is because when I come into her, it's like I'm dropping her into a heavier energy level, and it causes it causes a change. I'm not trying to get a voice where I'm speaking an American twang like I did in my earth life, and my voice from my light being consciousness is a clear, translucent energy that comes in on light, colour, vibration, and harmonic sound into the mind. And we use these three sources to help communicate. So I hope that brings understanding to you for that. So we can, and as the energy has grown with Sharon and as we've developed, I can now express through her body my movements. I express my feelings through her physical. So I am connecting with all the nerve endings in her body and moving her through my consciousness state of being, of how I express myself to you, is the best way I can put that. Now, when the essence of loved ones can come through for evidential through trance, they might talk in the terminology they talked in, the way they would have phrased something like, how can I put this to you? Oh my dear, or a nickname, or I don't know, some phrase that would have been their phrase that you'd know straight away, which the medium that's channeling them, or the trance worker as I like to call you, would not have known. So there's bringing that evidential, so it can be words that would come through, can be physical phrases, it could even be the way wagging their finger at you, or I don't know. There's ways to bring the evidence through the trance energy. So that is what I wanted to explain to you. I have no idea if I'm explaining this well. I've got beings around me who are giving me directions and guidance as well. So as well as having to channel through this mind, I'm having people channeling through me. So it's yes, so I call them people, because at the moment I have actually got, looking around who I've got. Okay, I have a Palladium. This is Ashkarel. I have Ashkarel here. she's involved in this as well. So she is a humanoid, physical humanoid who transcends into the incarnated or guide connection state if required. So that's interesting. Who else have I got? The Atori Trilligan is here as well, so another humanoid form, but not looking like the human form. So I could call them humanoids, I can call them people for your understanding, I could call them my friends. So how do I express that to you? It's how it comes first into this connection through this mind. So with trance, I just talked about the mind, and then something else comes in to remind me to tell you. So when you start in the early trance connection, we are connecting with all your thoughts, everything that you have gathered in your life. So if, for say, you do an exercise and they say the subject of a holiday, or what does a holiday mean, or what does a break mean, or something like that, and you might get this, imagine you've been to Egypt and you've been around the pyramids, and you start to get these images or thoughts about your holiday, and you will naturally think, I can't talk about that, that's my mind. But we might be using those images in your head to start a conversation, because when you start talking, it starts to take your mind out of it a bit, and we can come in and then give our influence. We might have wanted to talk about ancient Egypt and the healing and the beings that were part of those civilizations that were off-world. So, you know, it really is trusting in the process. And as you sit in trance and build this connection with your guides and get more and more trust and really, really, really feel their connection, and they can start to communicate, you'll talk faster, you will bring stuff through that you would never say in your human life. The other thing which is very good for a trance teaching, which I'd like to bring, I won't be here much longer now as I'm starting to feel the energy dropping, so I need to quickly get some stuff out now. The other thing which helps with the trance energy and connection is what we would call spiritual writing. So it's sitting in the energy of the intention with your guides and asking them to inspire your mind. So the way to do that, I would recommend to you, my friends, is you pick yourself a subject like earth, flower, health, pets, whatever a subject you want to pick, the cosmos, spiritual beings, and ask them to bring forward some wisdom and guidance. Now, this will build your trust with them. This will build the energy with them. And this is your guides I'm talking about. And this will just build up this circle that's needed to build on your trance connection. The other thing we recommend is that you sit in what we call the trance energy without expecting anything, not to speak, but just sit and relax and allow us to adjust your energies. Because what you've got to remember is that you're living in a 3D energy planet, which is on the verge of going into higher frequency, or has started the process, should I correct myself there, started the process, and it is affecting everybody's energy on earth, especially the light workers, because you are on a higher frequency now. And as you evolve on your ascension journey and things, the energies change, we need to keep adjusting and working with you to keep you balanced in the earth energy. And then we also work on the energy of the circle that works with you, the light beings that work with you for your trance energy, and the unison energy, as I explained. We work on that energy to keep that circle connection going, and the human we work within that loop. So I'm just refreshing through my own consciousness now of anything I would like to say. Yes, we will want to explain to you now that the language is going to change around trance. The understanding of trance is starting to change. You are going to be braver, bolder, have more trust your team so you can sit and develop in your own space as well as a circle. You need to understand and trust that you are protected and safe, and taking the fear of the doubt out. Now, I will bring into conversation, because I don't want to spread the doubt or the fear, but some workshops have experienced what we would call, no, sorry, it's not what we would call, it's what you call a walk-in. Now, what you have to understand, that there's thousands and millions of souls on earth, and thousands die every minute of the day. And sometimes when somebody passes, it could be a shock process, or they're not quite sure where they're going. We are aware of this. We collect to try and guide them to where they need to go. Some of them might be drawn to a beacon of light. So when you're working in a workshop and you're all sitting there more open to our source of light, you're like a beacon in the darkness, and they can be drawn into that energy, and that's why you can sometimes experience this. Now, your workshops should always, or your groups, or however you work on your own, should set the intention and have control of this with your guides, that this is not allowed. So how do we do this? How do we prevent this? So we create a circle around you of protection, and we're facing outwards, and we will watch for this, and then the soul will be connected to someone on that outer circle and guided to where they need to be. Now, you're not got an earth full of spirits walking around, as you understand. They are transitional, multi-dimensional energy that will be guided to where they need to go. But you have to understand, my friends, that not everything is 100%. So if you come across rumours, or you hear people talk about this, please understand that these souls are looked after and guided to where they need to be very quickly. I will not go into anything else about that for now, but perhaps we should do another talk about that side of things. The word poltergeist comes to mind that you all like to use, and things like that. So I think we will do another talk. So that should be another interesting subject for you all, I believe. So with the trance energy, going back to that again, I just want you to understand that it is there for humanity to connect to these beautiful beings that work in alliance with Earth, to bring wisdom, knowledge, to help humanity understand evidential source of life after death, that the essence of the human is collected back into source with the higher self, and then when you seek that clarification of that connection from your grief or your loneliness without them, that their essence can be brought that down, and through the trance worker they will be brought forward in your understanding of who they are through the evidence given or shown to you in a physical energy format. So that is the way we work. We work in a unison energy where the trance worker is part of the team. We like to call ourselves, we are a team. There's no I in team, is there? There's we. We are a unit, we are one. We are a mixture of beautiful ascension light beings like myself. I do not want to be too big-headed, but yes, I am. And physical ascension beings who multi-transitional ascend. And the reason we call it a space of unison is because it's created in an energy field where all sorts of life and light and frequency can exist from different creations that are part of the alliance that are working with Earth. So if you are drawn to the journey of trance, please take it. Please do not ridicule those that take this path. Do not be afraid of the connections they are telepathically linking to, because we are here for the good of humanity. Now, you are aware of governments of the world, and I will say this now, that they watch people. There's so many light workers now And you live in a freedom state, many of you, that can express this out on your internets. And they are watching and monitoring this because they know that you are telepathically communicating with other beings from other existences. That's quite amazing, isn't it? And I want the trance teachers out there to start to say and understand the way we work in the, I have to call it the spirit realm for you to understand. But it's so much more than that. The essence of the souls that go back come from different creation sources. And the guides that come to work with you are from different creation sources. Some have chosen to have an incarnated earth life to bring their understanding for their working with you. Others have not, but they can connect to what we call, for your understanding, the universal knowledge library to see what humanity is all about. And before guides come to you and work with you, they observe, they learn. They just don't suddenly pop up one day. There's so much work going on beyond Earth's understanding that the trance energy can bring forward and can help you. Now, this trance journey can be a long journey for many of you. Very, very rare do we find a human that can just connect instantly because of your doubt, because you block us, because of your fear. And it takes a lot of trust on your part to build that trust with your guides and that experience, to be able to be the true trance worker you need to be an advocate to spirit, to bring forward our wisdom, our knowledge, and evidential evidence of life after earth in whatever format you perceive to see it in. But we will speak to you the truth of how it truly is. Now, we understand this will go against many religions, but embrace it. How do you think religions came about? Your religions came about from the source, not understanding what the God source is. People that came to earth, like your Jesus, an avatar soul who was there as a test for humanity, but humanity rejected. But from that came the source of one of the world's biggest religions. If you look at the religions around your world, they all come from a misunderstanding of what we truly are. I am going to leave it now. Thou trance can move on from this into the physical trance mediumship, and I have not spoken about that today. So if that is a subject you'd like to hear more about, then I'm willing to come forward again to talk about that. And I send you so much love from our side, and many of you, remember, you have guides, you have so much love around you. Embrace that love. Don't let what's going on in your world at the moment stop you evolving to who you truly need to be. Embrace our love and embrace the love that does exist in your world. You might have to look a little bit harder, but it is there, my friends. So I hope this has helped you today, and I'm now going to bring Sharon back into this space, and yes, we'll see what she has to say. Have a good day to whoever listens. Okay. So I just have to get my bearings. Oh, it makes my eyes a bit tearful. I always think that's as his energy draws back. So I can feel the love. Okay. Well, I'm going to have to watch that back because I'm sorry, I remember what it said. So I imagine he might have gone on for a bit.
He's quite a character, and he laughs because I don't know, he just explains things so fully, I guess. Hopefully the explanation is understandable. I'm sure it will be. If you see it on if you see this on YouTube, then you know it passed my test. Yeah, so I'll just conclude. I'm a bit spaced out, sorry. I'll just conclude this now, I believe. I'm being told to conclude it. So yeah, so if you want to know more about me, contact me on Bengal Rose, www.bengalrose.co.uk. Founder of One Spiritual Movement, so www.onespiritualmovement.com. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel and find out when more. We do a mixture of pre-recorded. I've done a live answering questions, and who knows, John might come back again with more information. I don't know what will happen from this point forward. I'll leave it in their hands, trusting them completely. So yeah, so tune in again. Go look at the other videos. I think there's 15 or more on there now. My guide's calling it the Circle of Knowledge. There's all sorts of subjects. You'll probably be drawn to what you need to watch on your evolution, your spiritual journey. We might be needing to watch all of them, who knows, or just one of them, but you'll gain the knowledge you need. Just trust that. That's how I gain my knowledge, as well as my knowledge from John. He has just come in to said there was a point where he said they use the knowledge in your head. I think they've already rewatched it. So they use the knowledge in your head. He also wants to add to that when you become more experienced with trance, they will start to bring knowledge in that is not in your head. So if you say a writer of books like I am, they're bringing knowledge in this latest books that's not on Google, like about Lemurians, Arturians, Andromedans. They will start channeling knowledge that's beyond your earth consciousness. So in the early stages of trance, they use your thoughts and word process, but put it into a more eloquent manner normally. So that level changes as well. I just wanted to add that in. So it must be something he felt he wanted to say. So yeah, take care all of you, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.